Hi everybody, it's Whitney from the Running Homesteader, and I just want to say thank you for watching. And also, this channel's brand new, and it's an experiment. And what I plan on talking about through this channel is running and all of the things that go along with running, like nutrition and injury prevention and gear and routes and how to run longer. And all of the things that go along with running, and also homesteading and the things that go along with that. So processing poultry, raising poultry, cutting and splitting wood for a wood boiler, lawnmower maintenance, all of the many things that go along with homesteading. And I want to talk about it here. And so that's what you can expect when you watch the Running Homesteader. So thank you for watching. Today I am going to do a quick 5-miler to start the day. It's about 21 degrees outside and a 6-mile-an-hour wind, so not too bad, but it is definitely cold. And so today I'm wearing an Under Armour fleece-lined shirt here. I have my running vest that I wear on top of it to lock in my body warmth, and some new Trailheads gloves. They're part mittens, part gloves. So once I get into the run and my hands heat up a little bit, I'll flip open the mitten part and just probably expose my fingertips, use them more as gloves once I get warm. I read once that there's no such thing as bad weather, only bad gear. And I agree, you know. If you're not dressed warm enough for the cold, it can be pretty excruciating. So I think a good rule of thumb that I use is to take the temperature, so 21 degrees, and dress like it's 20 degrees warmer. So dress like it's 41 degrees. And thinking about what I would wear on a 41 degree day, it's probably a long sleeve shirt and a vest and some ear coverings as well. And that suited me just fine, actually. I've done this, I've donned this getup for a while this winter, and it's been great. It's been great. So anyway, if you're looking to get started running in the cold weather and you're a little bit cautious about it, just dress like it's 20 degrees warmer than it actually is, and you should be fine. And then after my run, I'm going to do just a few maintenance types things. Our chicken bedding in the coop needs to be turned, and we'll talk about why you turn it and how often. And you know, if I have time today, I'll do a little bit of cleanup in the upper part of the barn. So that's what's on the docket, and I'm gonna head out right now for my run, and I'll see you soon. Hey guys, so I'm back from my 5-mile run, and it was wonderful. I tried to take it easy today. My time today was 9 minutes a mile average, which is great. I wanted to do an easy run, and what that really means is that you can have a conversation with someone without struggling. And I usually run alone, so what I try to do is sing a couple bars of something, and if I can sing it without struggling or gasping for air, then I know that I'm on track. Winter running, much like winter homesteading, is all about maintenance and making sure that all systems will be ready to go once spring comes. So there won't be any recovery that needs to happen or repairing that needs to happen. It's all about that base, really. So my base is 5 miles, and what that means is that my body's acclimated to run that distance whenever I want. Like it's an easy distance for me to go. I don't have to prepare for it mentally or even physically as much as I would a longer distance. You know, if I were running 12 miles, I'd probably have to put a little more prep work in, make sure that I was thoroughly hydrated the day before or ate really well the day before. And 5 miles I feel like I can bang out whenever I want. So that's my base. A few years ago my base was 3, and that's usually what people start at, and I've worked my way up since then to a nice 5 mile base. So I want to just maintain that every time I go running. Just hit that 5 miles during the wintertime, 4 days a week, so that when spring comes I can do longer distances and try to do interval training and do that heavier lifting then. And it's much like homesteading, you know. A lot of the work that needs to be done on the farm happens in the summertime, so we want to make sure that everything is operational when that time comes. So that's what it's about. After every run, I write my mileage in this field notes notebook that I have turned into my running journal. And I write down things like my goal distance. What was my goal that day? My goal today was just to go 5 miles. So I write down my average pace, the number of minutes that I was running, and the actual distance. I usually end up going a little bit over the goal just to make sure I've done it. I usually stop at like 5.01, you know. It would be my own personal nightmare to stop at 4.99, so God forbid. And that's it. I store this thing and then I get it out the next time I run, and it's nice to keep track of each run like this so that if there is a problem that develops over time, like if the next time I run my hamstring feels tighter for longer, and then the time after that it feels even worse, then I know like I have a problem with my hamstring and I need to do something about that. So this I also jot down sometimes the weather and what I wore that day. So I'm pretty used to running in 20-degree weather with a slight breeze. I consider 5 or 6 mile an hour winds a slight breeze. And but if today were like -4 and a slight breeze, I would probably write down what I wore that day and how warm or cold I felt during the run, just to use that as a reference for the next time it's -4 out. So that's it for my running today. I'm gonna do some barn cleanup this afternoon, and I'll see you then. Hey you guys, so today's chore is turning the chicken bedding. And what we do here on the homestead is something called the deep litter method. And what that means is that we let our chicken litter, or the bedding, grow over winter to be between 6 to 12 inches deep. So rather than clean out the coop every few weeks to a month, you know, keeping that layer an inch thick like we would do in the summer, we actually add to it over the winter and turn it, but we let that litter grow, and that creates warmth in the coop, and it also creates a really nice compost at the end of winter. So what we do is I'll use a pitchfork and turn the bedding, and that makes the top layer of poop, it turns it so that it's on the bottom, so it's on the barn floor, and then that exposes some new straw bedding to the chickens as well. I'll add some more straw to this to make it even more fresh, and part of this though, this deep litter method, is making sure that we have a well-ventilated barn, which luckily we do. Or a well-ventilated chicken coop. Our chicken coop's in the barn. So if you didn't have a well-ventilated coop, you might have a very strong ammonia smell due to the kind of festering chicken poop that's on the ground. So one way to combat that is just to make sure that your area is well ventilated. It's pretty dangerous when you have a chicken coop that smells like ammonia. It actually can lead to some significant health problems for the chickens. So a well-ventilated barn and also turning your compost will help eliminate that smell as well. So that's another reason why it's important to turn the bedding. Probably every month is what we do. We do it more if we have to. Last year we had a stretch of winter that was a few days long, but the high was -14, and we left the chickens locked in the barn. It was kind of stinky in here after those few days, so it was important to turn it right away and just get that new thick layer of poop at that time onto the barn floor and expose some new straw. So at the end of this winter season, we'll take this used soiled bedding and add it to our compost pile where it can further break down. And we have 2 compost piles. One is ready, almost ready to use in the garden, and the other one is a pile that we are actively trying to turn into usable compost. So we'll add this to that actively changing compost pile. And that's it. The chickens are spreading it around, the new straw as I speak right now, and that is turning the chicken bedding. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time, either on the run or on the farm.